Greetings all. Today we are doing the new moon total solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. The reading for this energy that is going to occur on August the 12th, 2026. So this is some major energy coming through because it is eclipse energy, which I absolutely love. Eclipse energy comes forth to just change the dynamic all of a sudden. And for those who are going to be greatly impacted by this energy, you need to prepare for new opportunities and newness, new beginnings, new starts, things like that coming through in your sector. As always, I do readings for generational healers. So herein we're going to get out the messages about what we need to be looking at during this time for those of us who are facilitating the reconciliation of our bloodline. I'm Dr. Sunny and I help generational healers, or what we call the chosen ones, navigate their journey. Let's go ahead and get started, guys, with this reading. So coming out, we got some karmic energy at play. So the new opportunities, the new beginnings that you are going to see during this time are going to be heavily based on what you've been doing in the past. The hard work, the effort, the energy that you've been really diligently working towards, you will see within probably a month of this new moon cycle, this eclipse cycle coming through, some really grandiose, even so, gestures coming through when it comes to opportunities. Because this is Leo energy. Leo is, big, it's bold, right? It shines a huge light. And herein, there's going to be a lot of blessings and fortune coming your way, okay? Based on, again, what you have done. This is not luck oriented energy. Instead, it is energy coming to you based on the things that you have been putting out in the cosmos. So think about any projects, especially anything related to self-expression or creativity that you've been working on over the last 6 months or so. So a lot of those things related to those dynamics will begin to come forth into fruition. It may be the start of this energy for some people, a fresh start, so it may not be as advanced, going forward, but you might just see some really great energy popping forward where you're like, okay, I am truly seeing the fruits of my labor. And of course, this is going to look different for everyone, but definitely if you are a creative in your work endeavors or what have you, if you're on social media or something like that, or you work in any type of creative sector, you are going to see a whole lot of benefits coming forth from whatever effort you've been putting out there into the world to reap those benefits. And it is showing you guys have really been working hard here. Whoever is going to really reap these blessings, because it's going to impact us differently. So definitely go inside of your natal chart, see where this energy hits you, like see where Leo is aspected in particular in your chart, because that's going to tell you a lot about what you should be experiencing from these particular dynamics, because it is showing, like, again, hard work, whatever you've been running toward. A lot of you all have really been chasing your dreams and just trying to get there, trying to get that the insight that you need to get to that next level. And a whole lot of information is actually going to open up for you in this area, because some of you all have been really questioning, like, the who, what, when, where, how, and why of your endeavors. You've been pushing. Even so, for some of you all, this isn't even just within the last 6 months. Some of you all, this is a life forward endeavor. It's just that you've been seeing, different incremental spots lately, and probably over the last 6 months, you've probably seen a few positive changes happening in this particular area of your life. But then, all of a sudden, when this energy hits, you are going to see some really expansive and in some cases explosive energy come forward for you in whatever you've been dealing with when it comes to the creative aspects of your life, and even so, self-expression. Some of you all have really been in a space where you really want to just be you, and you've been working towards that, and you're gonna see some changes in this area, right? And Leo energy is bold, is brazen, is out there. So this energy is gonna be pretty loud, guys. It's gonna be pretty loud. But even so, they're saying, like, wherever you've been patient, you are going to see where you've been patiently working towards something. When I say patient, that doesn't mean that you had to be, perfectly awaiting it. Probably at times you have been anxious, but you just kept pushing through. That's what's so important in this message. This is for the people who have just, said, this may be hard, I may be going through whatever in this scenario, but I'm going to keep pushing through because I know this is part of the plan for my life. This is part of my purpose. And you just kept going even at times when you were frustrated, because at the end of the day, that's what, being temperate and patient is all about, because we do have times that we get frustrated. If, you don't have those instances, then, you don't have to really call on that force to stay in that space of peace. You just naturally know it's going to happen for me. But some people, sometimes, it comes to the things we want it to hurry up and get there. But when you continuously work diligently toward that goal and not focus too much on trying to rush it or compel it to come forth, but you keep going, even in those dynamics, that's a form of patience as well, that is very, very vital in this particular energy during this time, because blessings are coming. They say, like, blessings are going to be spread wide, very, very wide open. It's going to be very generous at this time, and you're going to be so happy that you experience these dynamics in your life. You are going to really, really, really just be in a space of peace too. You can know that you are going to have the peace of mind that you have been desperately waiting for. You're going to be like, yes, it finally came through. I've been doing all this for all this time, and now I'm going to see some movement. And it's going to be in different areas for different people, right? Even for romantic endeavors. Some of you all have been really working forward to, trying to find the right romance, the right connection, and you've been putting in the work, really diligently putting in the work, like self-development, self-discovery, things like that. And you're going to get an opportunity to see that come through, and you're going to see the manifestation of everything that you really wanted to come through. Likewise in other endeavors, some of you all are in creative fields, like I said before. Maybe you deal with art or music or writing or something like that, and you've been really, really working hard on a specific project related to those endeavors, and you put it out, and maybe you haven't seen the fruits of that labor come through the way you desired it to. And during this new moon eclipse, bam, you're going to see just a certain surge of new energy that is going to be very, very, very beneficial to you. Okay, but there is a warning here in this message. They're saying that you definitely need to be careful of people who will try to come. In some cases, it's about frauding you, defrauding you, and scamming you, and trying to say, like, this is an opportunity when it really isn't. But for the most part, this warning is actually about other people trying to sabotage your blessings. So you got to watch out for haters here, right? That's just the reality of the world that we live in. So when these new opportunities come forward, be careful about who you share them with. Some people are just going to see it and they're going to know, and they're going to be watching you, from afar, and, looking at all of your different moves and the things that are going on in your life, and they're in the backdrop, and they're going to be spying on you and trying to see ways where they can actually bring you down, because they don't want to see this energy manifest in your life. So just be very, very careful, especially about, grandiose announcements, because that energy will be at play too. You might want to, celebrate, because Leo loves to have fun. Leo likes to party. So you might want to, celebrate your wins. And you got to be careful. Even so, Leo can be egotistical too. So you definitely don't want to get into their energy and start bragging and, be so boastful and proud and talking about all of this, because they could actually sabotage some of the new opportunities. They could just come with unnecessary hardships and trials, because now you're trying to fend off the haters, the enemies who are trying to step into, your game and trying to take away the things that that are absolutely due to you, right? So they're saying, like, you really need to exercise a strong sense of self-governance during this time. You got to protect yourself, and in order to protect yourself, you have to have a strong sense of self-control. Not to go out there and just, spread the message if you don't have to. In some cases, it is important to celebrate your wins publicly, especially if whatever you've been working on is something that is public facing. That being said, they also are saying, be careful about, how you do it. You don't want to be boastful or bragging about it, and you don't want to kind of just put it in people's face, right? So you're public facing, you put out a social media post or something like that, of course everybody's going to see it. That's one thing. Another thing is to actually, like, go and send this to your friends or somebody that is going to be a hater, and like you're trying to shine, you like, look at what happened to me or what have you. You're inviting unnecessary energy into that space. And even so, here the ancestors are saying, do some protective work. When you start to experience these blessings, depending on your orientation to protective layering and works and things like that, you need to try to protect yourself in this energy. Maybe some sacrificial offerings, maybe wearing some charms, lekis, things like that are going to safeguard you, some spiritual medicine to protect you, because the life that we live, that's what it comes with. It's about balance. So when you got the good that's coming in, there's also going to be some ill will and some not so great, not so productive energy on the opposite end of that. And so the way we experience balance is that we, try to contain our good, the opportunities that we have, and use them for our benefit, and to also benefit others whenever we can or whenever it's appropriate. But we also have to negate the ill will that's coming towards us. So be careful there. And for any of you all who need help in that area, definitely reach out to us on Asani 44. We offer so many different types of reading services. Definitely ancestral readings, where you can get more insight in what you need to do in order to protect yourself during this particular energy. Also, I'm going to put together a list of different things that can help you out moving forward to avail this energy in the best of ways. Right now, I'm pulling out the cards so that we can see what we need to do in those major 4 areas that I always talk about. I work as generational healers, because this is who this message is for. Also, the areas of sacred well-being. How do we take care of ourselves during this time? Likewise, in our relationships, definitely romantic, platonic, and otherwise. And finally, in our financial sector, financial independence is a big part of the journey of a generational healer. We have to be able to be in a space where we can take care of ourselves monetarily, so that we can fulfill our purpose and our soul mission. Of course, that looks different for everyone, but I love to go in and dig in with spirit and say, what do we need to really focus on during this time so that we can keep the energy going. So herein, let's go ahead and take a look at the message for the generational healer. So how are we going to be healing or facilitating the process of helping our bloodline, helping our family advance during this time? So herein, we have the energy of messages coming through. All right, so they're saying that you really need to pay attention during this time to the messages that you are receiving. And absolutely, it's going to be intuitive type of messages, but also in the physical plane. So you will be getting, even the physical plane, those are still intuitive messages. But what I mean here is, sometimes we think about intuitive messages, we're thinking about things that come solely internally from us. But also, you will see things in your environment that are speaking to you, people, situations, scenarios that you really need to pay attention. You need to pay attention to what people are saying. It is going to be highly important, especially with whatever opportunities that come through, for you to read the fine print during this time as well. So, whatever the opportunity is, don't just take it at face value, because I did mention here there is some deception here. So you might get something that sounds like the best opportunity in the world, and it may not be the energy that is coming forth for you. It could actually be, a bit of deception thrown in there so that you can actually miss the true opportunity or blessing that is coming for you. So pay attention, read the fine print, because everything that comes through at this time is not going to be for your highest good or benefit. Because just like there are going to be people that are going to appreciate what you did, right? They're going to appreciate your efforts, and they do want to absolutely bless you in different ways through this. There are also people that are going to see your efforts and want to take advantage of it and want to use you. If you put out a big project, a book, a course, or, any type of artwork, there might be some people who want to come and steal your joy. So the ancestors are saying your generational work during this time is to really pay attention to the messages that you're receiving, because your ancestors are going to be talking to you quite loudly during this time, and they want you to listen to what's going on inside of you. Take some time to even step back when you hear certain things or when you see certain things in your environment, because if you try to move too fast, you may end up getting yourself into some problems that you really don't want to get into. Even so, litigation is coming through, so you even may be some high level legal issues that you can cause yourself some problems. So they're saying look at the fine print. You might even want to take certain dynamics to a lawyer with the legal aspects coming up, if it's something that involves that, especially something contractual that you're not too sure about. You want to get sound advice and guidance in those particular area, guys. So that's very, very important to pay attention to the messages that are coming through. All right. So when it comes to the sacred well-being sector herein, they're saying that you absolutely need to watch what you consume, what you eat, specifically what you consume through the process of eating, because there are so many things that can happen. Some of you all are already dealing with certain health challenges, because this energy is on that beautiful vibe of bringing us like these huge blessings when it comes to dynamics in our lives. You may want to celebrate, right? You might go a little bit overboard during that time. So the ancestors have said, take care of your body, take care of what you consume, take care of that digestive tract, because you don't want to overdo it in any type of area. Even so, take care of what you consume when it comes to like alcohol and drugs and things like that. Ideally, you don't want to be dealing with illegal substances, but even so, if you are on that tip, the ancestors are saying, be very, very careful during this time. You want to take care of your health. You don't want to overdo it. They say celebrate, but find ways that are amenable for you to celebrate, right? So, if you are dealing with certain health conditions and, you want to have some cake, for instance, to celebrate a win, or, a huge, heavy meal, whatever it may be, they're saying find some alternatives to that, right? So you want the cake, go and find some healthy cake somewhere, guys. Something that's not filled with a bunch of sugar and things that are going to upset your health. You want to be very, very careful there. All right. So when it comes to the relationship sector, we got this energy. They're saying take your time and investigate the people that come around in your life. There's a heavy emphasis right here, guys, on betrayal. So they're saying watch yourself. Even over here, they say pay attention to the messages like we talked about before. During this time in your relationships, you want to investigate who is for you, who is not for you in both areas, like I talked about before. So if there are new things coming towards you, make sure that you investigate and make sure that new opportunity is something that is going to benefit you in the long run and it's not some kind of scam or something like that. They also want you to celebrate the people who are watch rather. They want you to investigate the people who are around you, that you don't go out here celebrating with or in front of the wrong people. They want you to enjoy yourself, but they also want you to realize that everybody is not for your highest good. Do not start to invite people into your circle or into, those celebratory observations that you may find yourself dealing with that are not conducive to the blessings and the opportunities that are coming your way during this time, guys. So be very, very careful about that. Now, when it comes to the finance sector, wow, this is beautiful. They're saying pay attention to what you are passionate about. Like, you're actually going to see the fruits of your labor. You're going to see so many blessings and opportunities come through during this time. Just swoop in and take over you, based on your creative output, based on your own self-expression. And they're saying they're showing you this, they're doing these things for you so that you can continuously pursuing your passions, okay? Because the things that are coming through at this time are absolutely going to be beautiful for you, but like everything else in life, they come and they go. So they're saying don't allow your passion for whatever is bringing you closer towards your purpose, towards your goals. Don't let that fade. They want you to actually embrace work, things that can actually bring you financial freedom, financial independence, are going to be closely connected to your passion. So they really, really want you to move forward in that endeavor. And they're showing you during this time, that they can pay off. It will pay off. And they're saying keep on pushing towards that. Keep on driving towards doing the things that you are passionate about, because you will see more and more rewards from that in the future. Even with any type of upheavals that you may experience with it, you are still going to see some beneficial things come out at the end of the day when it comes to, whatever work that you're truly, truly passionate about, right? So don't give up. If it's your artwork, if it's your writing, whatever you're creating, whatever you're working on. We're going to look at the medicine for this reading to see what the ancestors are telling us that we really need in order to experience some true healing in this area. Self-expression is coming out again, which definitely makes sense since we're dealing with Leo energy, right? So they're saying they want you, even here it's just a repeat. They're saying express yourself. So this is heavy in this message for you to celebrate too. That's another thing you're saying. Celebrate, to express yourself, to enjoy yourself, because it's going to be very, very healing for you when you can tap into that part of you that brings forth your true joy and your love, because it's going to help you fall in love with life again. Because oftentimes we get into a space where we're doing just the things that we have to do, especially when it comes to work and things like that. And they're saying, hey, you need to really tap into the parts of you that you are naturally gifted in, and therein you're going to find a whole lot of joy in your life. Okay, it's very important too for you to stay spiritually connected at this time. All right, they want you to connect with them, they want you to connect with your spiritual team. Do not forget to be grateful. All right, do not forget to connect with your Ori, your inner head, and to keep your focus. Definitely don't let any of the blessings or the things that come your way get you outside of yourself, right? To where you get into your ego. That's important. Again, dealing with Leo energy, they're saying be balanced during this time. You know, like you get this opportunity, don't get to this space where, whoa, is, look at me, just come and look at what I did and look at what I have, in this type of energy. They want you to still have a sense of humility about you. And in order to do that, you have to ground yourself in spirituality. You need to work with your inner head, your higher self, that's Ori in the Ifa tradition, so that you can carry this blessing forward in a good way for you in the future. You don't sabotage it. Also, head cleansing is coming up. That's funny because that's Ori energy twice. So herein, literally, you need to do some head cleansing work. So for those of you who follow Ifa or any other tradition where head cleansing is a thing, this is a great time for you to actually do some work to level your head out and to get your head balanced. So you might want to go ahead and do those Ori offerings, or you want to do your Lavtet, like in the Haitian tradition, or whatever it is called in your tradition, to really do some inner head cleansing. If you are not familiar with these concepts, or you've never done this before, it will still be great for you to do some type of meditative practices where you can do some clearing out of your head, where you can get in a space of peace, so that you can hear more from your Ori, right? So you can establish that line of connection on a deeper level. So you're hearing from that part of you, and you're walking in alignment with it, because it's going to be so important for you to stay in alignment during this time. Because oftentimes when we get those blessings, sometimes we can go, I won't say oftentimes, I'll say sometimes when we get certain blessings in our life, we can go off on a tangent and get so excited and lose ourselves, lose our focus. And so stay focused, keep your head intact, guys. All right, so now I'm going to close up here with the words of wisdom, so that you can keep on moving forward in your journey. So here in, I like this. It says, I let go of all expectations. So here in, they're telling us is like, don't hold on to a specific expectation of what you want to happen. Allow your blessings to come through freely, because when you do this, you're going to get a whole lot more than what you even expect, then a whole lot more than what you want. But if you try to set standards and you say, my blessings need to come this way, my opportunities need to come that way, what's going to happen is you're going to get upset with the way that they do come, and you might push them away inadvertently because you want them to show up in a specific way. And they're saying they're coming through, and be open to the way they come through, because it's going to be so much better than what you thought. With that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close up here. As always, Ashe, have a very blessed and beautiful day and beyond.